Welcome, and this is a very short little class. It's just to do with your breath, and as it's a very important piece of what we do in a day, but we never think about it. So it's also something that is really, really good for your nervous system. It almost fools the nervous system into believing that everything is calm, perfectly fine, and very relaxed. So we're just going to be breathing very, very simply here, and I will also just incorporate some breathing that is my favorite. Basically, it's my favorite breath work. So if you find a nice little comfortable spot, you might prefer to lean with your back against the wall if you're not comfortable sitting. I find I can sit up taller and longer through my spine if I'm sitting up on a slight raise of pillows, blocks, bolsters, and if that's not comfortable, if that's not where you want to be, you can lie down. So basically, I just want you to be incredibly comfortable, lovely and relaxed. If halfway through you feel the need to move, because if you're in a spot that's not going to be comfortable for you, it's not going to be helpful for relaxing into your breath work. So once you've found what you need and a space that's comfortable, we're just going to place our right hand to our chest, and we're going to place the left hand to the belly. You can just drop your gaze, or some people prefer to close their eyes. And when you're breathing, you really are not trying to find a huge, great depth of breath. We're not trying to sort of change the breath too much. We want to keep it very relaxed, quite natural, very even. So we're going to just start with a nice quiet inhale. You'll feel your rib cage move, you'll feel your tummy rise slightly. And then that softness of your exhale, you're going to feel your tummy fall and your chest release away under that hand a little. So just going to continue for a few breaths there, just really being aware that your body does move with your breath. You might find your shoulders will rise slightly as you inhale. As you exhale, everything sort of concertinaing back to your center. So another way of thinking of this is feeling the body sort of expand and grow larger as you inhale. And then it just grows a little smaller as you release, you let go, and you exhale. Now when you're starting with focused breathing, this might be enough. You might just want to stay for these few minutes and stick with this version, just that slow inhale, finding that awareness of the movement that your breath creates, and that softness, that releasing, the feeling of letting go on your exhale, so there's no tension. It's quite nice just to be checking in that your face is relaxed as you keep those breaths moving, that your jaw stays very soft, and your neck, your shoulders are not going to start to creep up by your ears, they stay released. If you are sitting, we don't want to start to collapse and round our bodies forward, because then you've not got the space, the opening for your breath. So that's where sometimes it's nice just to be back against a wall or lie on the floor if it's still not quite for you. So we can either stay with those hands as they are, or you can just bring those arms down by your sides, or if you're sitting, just rest them comfortably, maybe in your lap, maybe on those thighs. Everyone's a little different, which is nice. So as you breathe in again, we're going to start to feel your rib cage. It doesn't just move forward. You'll feel the exhale softening. It also, on your inhale, you'll feel your rib cage moving out to the side as well. So as you inhale, the rib cage broadening through the side ribs. As you exhale, they fall back into your center again. So front ribs opening, side ribs expanding. The exhale, feel everything just falling into your center again. Release and let go. You can also add the back of your rib cage as you breathe in. You might feel the back ribs expanding into your wall or into your floor. As you exhale, again, they're just falling back into your center line, relaxing the body. So again, we're staying with those breaths, the rib cage moving front to back, side to side. You'll feel that tummy moving forward slightly or up to the ceiling a little if you're lying on the floor. Exhaling, tummy falling and your ribs softening into your center. Again, growing larger in all directions on your inhale, and just that little bit smaller on your exhale. Again, checking in that your face is soft, your jaw is relaxed, your neck, your shoulders are letting go. And again, just staying with that breath is perfectly fine. If you want to add on a little, you're going to count a few of these breaths. So we're just going to start with 4 counts to inhale. So just exhaling, relaxing there. On our next breath in, 4 counts. Ribs open up for 2. Tummy moves forward for 2 counts. Softening the tummy for 2 counts. And the rib cage falling to your center for 2 counts. So 1 and 2, the ribs. 3 and 4, the tummy expands. Tummy falling for 2. 1, ribs softening for 2. And 1. You can add a pause at the top and the end of this breath as you breathe in. Ribs opening. 1, 2, tummy. 3, 4. Pause at the top of that breath and exhaling. Tummy falling. 1, 2. Ribs softening. 1, 2. And a 1 count pause. So again, ribs expanding. Tummy moving, pausing at the top of the breath and the exhale, tummy falling, ribs relaxing, and a 1 count pause at the end of that breath. So continuing with that for a few more cycles in your own timing, maybe not quite so much my timing. I might breathe a little faster or a little slower than feels comfortable for you. So just take your time. You always want these breaths to be comfortable, to be relaxed. If you start to tense, if you start to find you're losing that breath, you're feeling breathless, forget about the way you're breathing, just follow it and move it back into something that's much more comfortable for you. You can build up to a longer, fuller inhale and exhale, but it might not happen for you straight away. So just continuing, we should do a couple more cycles like this. So those 4 counts, breathing in through the nose, pausing at the top of the breath, exhaling those 4 counts, pausing at the bottom of the breath, and one more time, inhaling, ribs, tummies, pausing, and you feel the tummy fall, the ribs letting go, and a pause. So just for a moment, reset a little, take a few normal breaths. If you prefer to lie down at this point, you can change the pose, lying on the floor, you can change your arms or your legs. So again, we're not wanting to stiffen up and tighten up anywhere. We want to stay soft, relaxed. We're going to start to breathe in. It's more your exhale, so you're not worrying about your inhale whatsoever, because that's just going to come along freely. It's your exhale that we want to follow. So just take another couple of gentle, quiet breaths there. Nothing special. Just sort of checking in that your body is relaxed. Your neck, your shoulders are very soft. There's no tension. Feel the weight sitting on your mat, maybe the back on your wall or on the floor. And then with our next inhale, just a nice soft breath in. And what we will do is focus and follow our exhale. So you're going to follow that exhale, moving all the way out through the throat, through the nose. Pausing. Allowing that breath just to come along as it's ready. But we're following the exhale, so just follow that breath out all the way through, all the way down, right to the very end of that exhale. So you're not anticipating the end of the breath or waiting for your inhale. The inhale, it really just happens all of its own accord, just naturally. It's the exhale we're following. We're focused on the breath out, following it all the way through, all the way down to the very, very end of the breath out. And you'll start to find there's a pause before the breath moves back into your body again. And again, following your exhale all the way through, right the way down, very much to the end of the exhale, finding a pause, and being aware of that stillness within the pause, and possibly just that relief as your breath in moves back into your lungs, into your systems. And again, the exhale. So you might find with each exhale it becomes a little slower, so a little bit longer. The pause at the end of the breath, that feeling of stillness, and then the relief of your inhale. The exhale following it. Not trying to make it extra long, just a comfortable length, following it to the very end of that breath out. You might find that the pause, that feeling of stillness at the end of that breath out, will become a little slower, a little longer as well. Feeling that relief of your inhale. And again, just feeling that exhale long and slow and even, without it being forced, without it being an effort. The stillness within that pause at the end of the breath, and that feeling of relief as you inhale. And again, you can stay with this breath. You don't have to change it from here. If you do feel like taking it a little bit further, we're going to add maybe 1 or 2 pauses within the breath out. So after your next inhale, we're focused on our breath out. You're going to breathe out for 2 counts. Pause for 2 counts. Breathe out for another 2 counts. Pausing for 2 counts. And all the way through and down to that last pause, the very end of your exhale. That stillness. And then again, that lovely relief of the breath moving back into your system. If that feels too hard to do, go back to your normal breathing. Otherwise, exhaling 2 counts. Pausing for 2. Exhaling for another 2. Pausing for 2. And taking the breath right the way through to the end of your breath. Again, to your stillness and the relief of your inhale. We're going to do that 3 more times. If you can add an extra pause, some people will just do that 1 pause, maybe 2 or 3 pauses. I won't count you with these last few breaths here, just in your own timing. Again, for everyone, slower or faster. It needs to be comfortable for you. And just while you're breathing like that, a little bit of awareness back to your face, your jaw. Eyelids are very soft. You haven't started to creep those shoulders up by your ears. They've stayed very relaxed. Lovely tall spine. A softness in your belly. And just the awareness of that seated pose, or if you're lying on the floor, the body lying relaxed, resting there. And again, just another couple of these full essential breaths. Finding those little pauses within the breath out. Maybe one, maybe two, possibly even three as you stay with this breath. It does become slower, it does become longer. But don't be impatient for that to happen. Especially the first few times you do this, it might be just that you want to take the one slow exhale and maybe a smaller pause before you find that inhale again. So not rushing your next breath. We're going to take that last breath all the way through, down to the very end of the exhale. With our next breath in, just slowly starting to bring your breathing back to normal. There'll be a little bit of movement there in your torso. And if your eyes are closed, you can just very gently flutter them back open again. Sitting very tall through that back. We're going to take one very deep breath here. You can add your arms as you inhale, reaching very long and tall there, and then exhaling. Releasing. And thank you. I hope this is helpful. We will do a few more with a variety of breaths. It's a lovely thing to be doing for our heart, for our bodies, for our mental state. So do enjoy them, and I shall see you soon in class or here online. Bye.